Hello, everybody, and it is a Dark Conservatarian. We are on Dark Cancer number 9, I think it is, and I am here with Frederic Voltaire Bastiat, Edgelord or Cult of, Ham, whatever you prefer, the Conundrum, S-Man Speaks, and the Crusader, aka JJ Skinner. And so the reason why I'm having this stream is because Voltaire requested it a while back to have an audience with the rest of the poor bastards and try to clear some shit up. And so I'm trying to be like a middleman for that, essentially. And so what is going to go down here is that it's basically going to be it's probably going to turn into a full-on debate between Voltaire versus the poor bastards. But what I'm going to do is to try to moderate.
Thank you very much.
What?
I'm a former poor bastard.
Okay, well, we're still technically a poor bastard, just not in the main original chat that has basically been bastardized, pun intended, by the way.
Yes.
But anyway, so I'm going to try to keep this debate moderated, so there will be no interruptions. I mean, I don't know, maybe some of them I'll let them slide, but overall, no interruptions, and there won't be like time responses with each other, but we will give everybody a fairly equal time to talk. I mean, especially if they specifically want it.
Okay.
And so, no threats of violence, by the way, everybody. I watched the last stream, and man, that turned into a shit show in the later half.
It's darker than Ham.
Okay, yeah, I promise I won't beat anyone with a fish.
And also, yeah.
I'll beat you with my cock, though.
Okay. So anyway, there will be no threats of violence, and there will also be no insulting as well. And if people persist on the angry death threats and whatnot and the insulting, I will mute you. Just saying. This is my show, my house, my rules. So anyway, let's get started. And S-Man asked if he wants to start off in the group chat here. So
all right.
I guess we'll start off with that. S-Man, you have the floor.
All right. So in the stream with DarkCon, Freddie was talking about women having voting for people that represent their evolutionary traits or instincts. That's how they tend to vote. If that's the case, I'd argue that and this is about 2 minutes 11 seconds in. I would argue that it doesn't matter if they vote for their evolutionary traits or instincts. That doesn't justify taking away their right to vote. Also, I don't believe anyone should have their vote like. Arbitrary characteristics, Freddie, are not a justification for taking away someone's right to vote. When you use owning property to determine that, you kept dodging the questions DarkCon would ask about whether or not black people would get to vote. You kind of seemed to pipe down as soon as he mentioned that, and you didn't seem to answer the question a whole lot. And through a lot of the things you say, it's hard to tell what you're serious on and what you're not. Like. Whether you're a po in a few areas or you're serious, like women voting, and whether or not you're joking about the anti-Semitic comments you've made, whether or not you think Pinochet was justified. It's hard to tell, among other things, whether or not you're serious or you're just like an epic troll like Google it is.
He's a troll? Was that it? Was that it, S-Man?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, so I think how we'll do it in the opening here is that we'll give each member of the Poor Bastard a time to speak, let Voltaire respond to that, and then the next Poor Bastard makes a statement, and then Voltaire responds to that, and so on and so forth. So now Voltaire responds to S-Man, and I guess we'll go to Cult of Hand next.
Okay. Let me state that I don't believe in democracy. I don't believe in this liberal democracy that we have right now. On women vote, on female suffrage, I'm against it because they don't vote. They don't vote. Most of them don't vote for it. Most of them vote social, progressive policy, liberal policies. This is rather just due to what happened after the 1960s, I believe. Moreover, we kind of on anti-democratic thoughts. I have to say that democracy is a very flawed system from the get-go. It's very, as I said before in the chat, it incentivizes short run thinking, incentivize thinking in the only thinking in the short term, and female suffrage is just more so a side effect of it, or just accelerating it, you know. And moreover, more anti-democratic thought is that my main problem with liberal democracy is that it's basically imposing a cause on a group of people, like a very bad policy on a group of people, and is also subjected to special interest groups and more. What was S-Man's other points against me?
It's hard to tell if you're serious about your anti-Semitism, your support for Pinochet, and things like that.
I support Pinochet. I don't really care about my anti-Semitic comments or whatever.
Why do you support Pinochet?
Because Pinochet saved Chile from a Marxist dictatorship.
Well, shit.
By replacing it with another dictatorship?
Okay, Voltaire, are you done there? Are you done there? Okay, so Ham, you're next. You can either address what he said right there or bring up your own personal beef with Voltaire or whatever. Go on, Ham.
Okay, I'll grant you that democracy is indeed flawed. There's all kinds of problems. But if you compare it to any other system of government, it stands out as the most responsive to the needs of the people, the best guarantees, freedom and rights of the citizenry. It prevents tyranny for the most part. With monarchy, you're hoping against hope that your monarch is not a fucking dolt easily controlled by the generals in charge, or that he's not some kind of fucking psychopath. So what system could you replace a democracy with that isn't already evidently the worst system you can have?
Well, my response to that is that, one, all concepts of government and state is ultimately flawed. It has their own problems to it, but I have to concede that as of right now, liberal democracy has proven itself to be the less despotic and less prone to corruption system. But moreover, on liberal democracy, the flaws on liberal democracy is that, one, it's relying on the middle class. The middle class are subjected to polarization, subjected to politics of resentment, so to speak. That can stir up a lot of internal problems in your nation state or wherever. On monarchy, calling him is correct. I am hoping that a good leader, someone like Marcus Aurelius, will come along, like some type of philosopher came. But on monarchy, it depends what type of system of monarchy I'm talking about here. Like, I don't like the French monarchy because they centralized too much power. The Russian monarchy was very absolutist and very corrupt and despotic. I prefer the English model of monarchy, where they did have a constitution. They did limit the power of the king. They did establish a rule of law, and over time, the English monarchy reduced the power of their.
You realize that the English system of government is it's basically a representative democracy.
And
yeah.
I'm just saying I admired how the English conducted the monarchy. That's what I'm saying there.
The monarchy is almost non-existent.
I'm talking about before. I'm talking about like in the back in the 17, 16, 1500s.
Yeah, but we've moved past that. I mean,
I also do admire the system. I do admire the aristocratic affairs, the aristocratic allure of European affairs in the 19th century.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, what's your goal in crafting a society? Is your goal to, create a society that's the most beneficial for as many people as possible, or what is it?
My goal for society is to create like a perfect ideal government. Is to create ideal government. Like, I want the rule of law. I do believe in a rather small welfare state and safety nets as a pragmatic way to handle things, and just whether that's democracy or rather it's democracy or republicanism, it's rather irrelevant to me.
I keep on cutting in and out, so this is probably going to get derailed a little bit.
So, Voltaire, you speak out against democracies, yet when you get down to substance of it, you seem to be praising democracy.
I'm not praising democracy.
I mean, the very system of government that does what you want to do, it are liberal democracies.
The problem with liberal democracy.
Okay. I'm gonna give other people a chance to speak. Sorry, I mean I kept on cutting in and out. Like I said, I wanted to give other people time to speak. And so, Conundrum, you have anything to add?
Oh yes, I do.
Oh no.
Like I said, keep it non-violent.
I am, man. You disrespected me.
How?
You don't do that to me.
I disrespect you.
Okay.
Okay. Can we keep the WWE shit out of this? Let's talk about ideas and not how you hurt my poor little feet.
Okay. Yes, I say yes, please, Conundrum. Just get to the point, please.
There's one rule about me. I joke around. I make little pot shots to everybody. You took my pot shot seriously, and then you just talk to me like I was some type of idiot. You don't do that with me.
I don't know who you are, honestly.
For fuck's sake, keep the WWE shit out of this. You're not cutting a promo.
I'm not. I'm just saying, just be mindful of me. I joke around. I take your arguments. I'll make a little spin on them, everything, because my opinion is everybody can argue about stuff about here. There's going to be life on the other planet looking at us saying, oh, don't go near them. They're a bunch of idiots.
Do you have any criticisms of what Voltaire's been saying, Conundrum?
I have his criticism towards a good friend of mine, Faith, when you caused her to have a panic attack. I didn't like that.
Oh, okay.
When you said stuff about her sexuality, which I did not take very kindly, and
I don't.
Hey, Voltaire, hush it.
Okay.
I didn't like that. You don't look. Whatever you believe, that's fine. Don't talk shit about others. There, plain and simple.
Shit show. Did I stumble into a shit show?
I mean, Conundrum. That's a wonderful, wonderful example of how not to hold an intellectual conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. What actual substantive questions do you have for Voltaire?
I have none because I haven't watched his stuff. I haven't watched the review. I was busy all the time. I had to help a friend bury her mother, so I have been busy all the time. I haven't watched Voltaire's stuff. But the thing is, I like how you brought up monarchies, not knowing about an incident that happened during when William Wallace was around, where England decided to take all the people.
Well, that was a pretty awesome movie.
Okay. Do you have like criticisms towards him regarding LGBT rights? Anything else that he had said in the Poor Bastards chat on that one night that everybody had exploded to Voltaire? Or do you have any criticisms regarding him and systems of government and whatnot? I mean, get to the substance.
I have with LGBT. Just remember, people are LGBT. Don't make fun of them. I don't like that. I have friends who are LGBT. I care for them. They care for me because I was basically the LGBT are like a second family to me. If you dare go after them, that's attacking my family. And just curb that a little bit. Your systems of government, I do find there's some flaws in your argument.
I gotta go.
Jesus Christ.
But I haven't been watching you, so I'm rambling on and on. So far, I have no criticisms on you yet.
Okay, so you're done there then?
Yeah.
Voltaire, go.
Okay. On LGBT. I think I apologized to during that night. And that was. Well, I look bad on that. I just.
Well, what's your opinion on faggots?
My opinion on them.
Yeah, should we be chucking them off rooftops?
No. I have a personal distaste for them, but I don't care for them.
Why?
What do you mean by you don't care for them? Like you don't care for the rights? You don't care if they get sent into a gas chamber or something? Or please elaborate on what you mean by that statement.
I'm just saying they're very irrelevant to me or what I'm trying to do right now.
Then why do you care? Why would you hold an opinion on them? If you don't care, you wouldn't hold an opinion on them. Like, I don't give a damn about democracy, whether or not it's a good thing or not. I just don't care. I don't have an opinion on it.
That's very true.
But I can have my thing is that I don't I do have an opinion on them, but I just don't really just cloud my worldview how I see the world.
Okay.
I'm getting that you really don't give a fuck about social issues more, and you're more about economic issues. Is that right?
Yeah, I have something to say about social issues, but not a whole lot. I'm just more concerned about what works and what is efficient or not.
But you do care more for economic and even systems of government issues rather than social issues.
Yeah, I may not.
A simple yes or no will suffice.
Well, you want me to expand my opinion on gay men? I don't.
Yeah. Give your answer, then expand.
Huh?
Give your answer, then expand.
Okay, what was Darkon's question again?
I was reiterating Ham's question. In other words, you care more for economics and the issue of systems of government than you do social issues.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
And then yes or no, and then explain.
Yes, because I'm don't care a bunch about social issues. I do consider myself to a social conservative to an extent, but not to an extreme extent, like as a Christian fundamentalist. Not really. I'm more like I consider myself to be more like a moderate, wherever.
All right. Is that all that you have to say right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Crusader, you haven't had a chance.
Say one thing. I give you respect on that, right. Voltaire.
Okay, so Crusader, go. You're next.
Well, I may actually have a couple of things, but okay. So earlier, when it said to when you said or praised, as I would say, a monarchy, why would you want someone that's in 0.01% of the population be in control of 99.99% of the population? Wouldn't it be better if the majority had the power over the minority, considering we have inherent human rights?
Let's see. A power of the majority, or you probably should say the middle class, or whatever. But on monarchy, or I'm just saying you probably should have said middle class to be more accurate. But more on why I think monarchy is like a better system is that I want a few people to control power, or more accurate, I want like a very select few people control power, because I don't believe that. The other issue I have with democracy is that it granted power to the middle class. It created a bureaucracy or a monopoly bureaucracy or whatever. It allows people compete for people to compete for power. It allows for dishonesty on that. Why I think monarchy, or more accurately aristocracy, is much better because they're born to power. They're most likely going to tell how to use that power, and their incentives is more focused on the long run of things, while a democratic elected politician is more so focused getting policies out there so they can get reelected in the next election cycle.
Okay, and I also want to reiterate to everybody that I will not let you speak for more than 10 minutes at a time.
Okay.
Okay, was that all that you had to say in that statement, Voltaire?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, man. You go next.
Okay. Coming back to what you said about how women vote, honestly, that's not a justification for being against women's suffrage. By that logic, blacks tend to vote Democratic. Would it be justified to say blacks should not be allowed to vote because they tend to vote Democratic, just like how women tend to vote the same way? Also, coming back to what you said about Pinochet supposedly saving Chileans from a Marxist dictator, that's not even true. All Pinochet did was remove a Marxist quote-unquote dictator and put in a more hard right dictator into the presidency. Also, when you're talking about cutting back on dishonesty and corruption, minarchism is the better way to go. About minimal government that provides just minimal services, like legit government institutions are like the police, military, and the courts. And that's all I'd have to say right there.
Voltaire, respond.
Okay, on Pinochet, or more on Chile. Salvador Allende was a horrible, terrible, terrible leader. He honestly brought the coup upon himself because his acceleration due to his politics of polarization things. I got Henry Kissinger's memoirs, The Years of Evil, with me right now. You want me to like read?
No, thank you. Just no thanks. Just tell us what it says. You don't have to read it verbatim.
Just sum it up. Do not read like whole paragraphs upon paragraphs.
Wait, no. Okay, let me find the chapter. Found it.
Or maybe a quick quote.
Okay. To further at Allende. Allende was a very extreme radical. He wasn't a great statesman because he failed to appeal to the leftist Christian Democrats at the time, the Christian Democrat Party, but he was able to unite the Communist Party and his own socialist parties. And this is just a brief rundown on Allende.
Okay, well, I don't care if Allende was a terrible president. That does not justify throwing him out of power. You could have waited till the next election because he won by the skin of his teeth to become president. I could send a link again to the election. If you look at the popular vote and the confirmation vote, it was very close.
Yeah, I'm very aware of that.
Coming back to what you said about Henry Kissinger, honestly, I don't trust him very much on anything. I'm pretty sure he had a lot to do with the coup, which makes him a war criminal. With Allende being extreme, that means nothing because Pinochet was extreme. On Allende being a terrible president, well, look who his successor was, and look how terrible he did. He united some people. Allende, he was able to unite some people, but didn't unite others. That means literally nothing. Donald Trump has united the Republicans, but he's not united other people for his election, for his candidacy for the presidency. I don't see what uniting some and uniting others has to do with anything.
If I may interject, I kind of disagree and think that he divided the Republican Party more than it ever has been. But Whatever. Go on.
Okay, on Salvador Allende. The thing is, in the geopolitical context, South America or Latin America was a ripe field with radicalism and communist revolutions. And at the time of U.S. foreign policy during the Cold War, it was supposed to suppress. The main goal was to suppress any Soviet Union. And Allende, I believe that the United States was barely involved in that coup d'état. But Allende did pose a geopolitical challenge and economic nuisance to the United States because, for one, the last president before Allende was playing ball. He was very cooperative with the Nixon administration. Allende he decided to pursue anti-American sentiments. And he was on the Soviet Union interests. They were most likely let me think. They were most likely going to install a client state in South America through Chile, but that's a different story. But more on Allende being a terrible leader, that he pursued his policy of nationalization too fast. That he what I'm looking for the page right now. Please forgive me. Okay. Oh, if you want to know American context to U.S. foreign policy to Chile, here's a quote. Never mind. But never mind. Just
all right. Well, I already have quite a bit to say in response to you. I don't care if Pinochet was economically a nuisance.
Allende.
I don't care if Allende was Hang on a second. Oh, that's my niece. And anyway, the United States should not interfere in other countries' shit. Like, I don't care if if Allende is elected to be the president. The people chose him. Therefore, until his term expires, you should not be allowed to do shit to him at all. I don't care if he pursued nationalization too quickly. I don't know how you define too quickly. What should be done is when the next election occurs, you vote that piece of shit out. I'm not saying he's a good leader or, oh yeah, Allende was a great president. I mean, he's a Marxist, so of course his leadership's going to suck. That's not shocking. But it does not matter. That's not a justification for breaking international law and throwing him out of power. The United States has done many coups against other nations for daring planning their own economy. If you want to head to communism, that's your fuck up. The United States has no right to interfere with that.
Okay, on that point, it was during the context of the Cold War, and the Soviet Union was trying to spread their influence. They were trying to install Marxist-Leninist client states. And I don't see any reasons why the United States should interfere in any countries, even though the United States involvement in Chile is horribly overstated in modern times. But
it's largely forgotten.
It's not forgotten. People are fully aware of the United States crimes, or not really crimes, but interventions are all over the world. If
it breaks international law, I'd say it's a crime. I would also say that the United States, the reason I say they have no right to invade a country, commit a coup d'etat, and install some dictator is you talk about the Soviet Union, and I don't like the Soviet Union. You're talking about it like, it's this controlling, authoritarian, evil dictatorship, and I strongly agree. But the problem is the United States is back up to, I think it's been 73% of recognized dictatorships throughout the world. And I think the United States has no leg to stand on when it comes to opposing tyranny, dictatorship, and threats to democracy, as a lot of presidents cannot help but gush on and on and on about democracy.
Well, that's
all
you.
Right. All right. I'm gonna let Voltaire respond to that. Then I'm gonna let other people speak. Conundrum, and then Crusader. Go on, Voltaire.
Okay, that's you. Okay, again. Okay. The United States the United States on that is like, I'm not going to defend the United States how it's presented itself, how it's like a beacon of hope. That's the United States geopolitical mentality. I don't really care for that. They can present themselves as hypocrites as they want because, hey, it's going to hurt them in the long run. But on the United States legitimacy on interfering in countries, well, or interventions. This was during the time when the Soviet Union was a hegemon, where it can actually did spread their influence as much as they can. They did pose a threat to actual other people, to actual other people freedoms and civil liberties, or whatever. I may disagree how the United States conducted foreign policy during the Cold War, but it did, in the long run, ultimately save a lot of people from a communist dictatorship of the proletariat in Marxist terminology.
Okay.
Just
Spill the beans, Voltaire, if you have more to say.
that's it.
All right, Conundrum.
So you are more on economic issues than social issues.
Yeah, sure.
I give you respect for that, dude. I'm tired of social issues. Economic issues, I can agree with you on certain aspects. I'll agree with you on that one. I have respect for you that.
Crusader?
Well, do you mind if I go on a little bit on Pinochet?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, anything that you want, JJ.
All right, so I don't know if this was answered yet or not, but why do you support Pinochet so much, even though he himself was a horrible, terrible, overall disgusting human being?
Assuming communists are not people.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But on a serious note, the reason why I support and respect Pinochet because he did implement like liberal economic reforms when he left office and made it. I think he made it into in their constitution not to nationalize the economy or whatever. I'm not really sure on that. I need to look into more on that. But the reason why I admire Pinochet is that, as I said, he did save Chile from the worst aspects of Allende, but I cannot support what he did during his time because I do believe he did nationalize the economy during that time period. Yeah, and I do believe that what he did, how he suppressed his opposition was barbaric in any way.
Okay. Well,
I want to see what JJ has to say in response. Sorry, I was writing that in the group chat. JJ, do you have anything to say in response? Otherwise, S-Man has the floor.
I may have something, but what? I know you don't really support him on some of his actions, but as we all know, and S-Man knows, Pinochet did not save Chile. In fact, he probably made it worse. Not only that, you're still supporting a man who did some horrendous, disgusting things.
Well, how did he make it worse? Chile is a thriving, liberal, democratic, capitalist state, and it's one of the richest countries in South America.
all right. Well, I'm just gonna respond.
Yeah, I'll just
yeah.
let S-Man take over from this.
All right. So basically, the ends do not justify the means. I mean, like I said, if you wanted the what the hell's his name? Allende. If you wanted Allende out of power, you should have just waited till the next election. It was within, I think, 3 years at the time. You don't need a coup to, if you want someone out of power, you should vote them out of power. Also, I'd like to quickly point out that it does not matter whether the good of what Pinochet supposedly did is far outweighed by the evil he did. The thousands that were thrown out of helicopters or had
Assuming communists are people.
Fuck you.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fucking messed up.
Fuck you. Anyway, as I was saying,
Hey, just a joke.
the
It's a meme.
Hey, okay, Voltaire, shut up. This is not the time to be joking. I mean, everybody is in a rather dark and serious mood. All right.
anyway, here's the thing. Okay, so what happened is thousands disappeared, forced disappearances, death flights, torture. There was even cases where dogs were trained to sexually assault people. All these bad things that happened under Pinochet's his de facto presidency, all of these things were easily avoidable had the CIA backed coup and had everyone else just let not Pinochet, for fuck's sake, had they just let Allende's term expire and just let it, and hell, if they all would have ganged up in the polls and voted against him to get him out of office, this whole mess would have been avoided. The ends do not justify the means, and quite frankly, a term I like to say a lot, quite frankly, it was made far worse as human rights, free speech was all shit upon by having Pinochet be the de facto president of Chile. And at the end of the day, if Augusto Pinochet was the president, and let's say people thought he was a dictator and he was legally elected, and Allende had a coup happen, and all these terrible things would have happened, you would have totally denounced him. I don't think for a second you would have said, yeah, Allende did some bad things, but the other guy was worse. Like, was Allende a perfect president? No. Is Pinochet a good president? Absolutely not. War crimes and all sorts of. Living in Chile must have been hell at the time. Seriously, go to people who probably lived under Pinochet's regime, and let's ask them, how did it feel? What was it like living under that dictator?
Oh,
is that all that you have to say, S-Man?
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Voltaire, you want to elaborate what you said in the group chat and just respond in general?
Okay, on S-Man points, how the Chilean people view Pinochet is literally split down the middle. It's 50-50. So depending where you are and what your political spectrum was, you probably revere Pinochet or outright hate him, depending on your political leanings in Chile. So
I'm strictly non-interventionist, so that should answer the question there.
As am I.
And also, as far as I can tell, the CIA only just run like a few newspapers at the time, so it wasn't really like a back coup or anything. It was just like, I just believe that the power of the CIA is like deeply over.
Hey, S-Man, let him finish.
And Pinochet, he's like Pinochet himself. I just ultimately just view him as a necessary evil Pinochet. Okay, to phrase it in another term, Pinochet was a necessity to Chile's future, and he forever cemented himself into Chilean history, and he ultimately did save Chile from economic and social policies. I just can I say a quote how I view?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh my god!
Okay, get on with it. Use your 10 or 5 to 10 minutes. Use your 5 to 10 minutes, however you want. I'm not going to restrict you on quotes and reading books. Go on.
Okay, it's from a quote from Olivia Mises on. Let me find it real quick, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh man.
Any day now.
Okay.
Any day now, Junior.
Deny that fascism and civil movements aimed at the establishment dictatorships were full of best intention at their intervention has a moment saved European civilization. the merit of fascism has verified oneself and will eternally live in history. But on the policy that's salvation for the moment, it's not the kind it should continue. Which could promise continuous success. Fascism was an emergency makeshift. To view it as something more would be a fatal error. Frederic von Mises of Austria.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to tell you.
Voltaire, are you done?
Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said, and this may just boil down to a difference of opinion. The ends don't justify the means. The human rights abuses far outweigh anything good he did. That there's just no avoiding that. Every bad action he did had people just left Chile alone. Had they just, and like I said, the United States has no right to bitch about the Soviet Union and its authoritarianism when they back other authoritarians. And hell, the United States only does it because those countries have the same economic policies they do, or economic policies they agree with. And like I said, I think what I'm about to say anyway is that I don't think the Soviet Union would have made it into the 21st century, to be totally honest, as they didn't survive the arms race, and they collapsed in the 1991. And I will say that, hang on, motherfucker. I didn't try to cut you off. Okay.
I was about to add that they disintegrated in 1991.
Okay. My mistake. All right. Anyhow, when it comes to the Soviet Union, let's say they were forcing countries to turn to communism, like they'd invade countries, fuck them up, and beat them into submission. Well, the United States has invaded other countries, beat the countries into submission. The countries dared move a little to the left. Therefore, the United States has no room to complain about the Soviet Union. Also, that was, to be fair, the past, and we can just look at the future and say the United States has more domestic issues it needs to focus on rather than be the global policeman. We don't need troops to invade countries, steal the resources, beat up people in the term, and I mean that figuratively, like whack them over the head and say, no, you must go our way or it's the highway. I say the United States needs to be more non-interventionist, needs to focus on domestic issues over worrying about if some countries to the left of Milton Friedman's right testicle hair, for God's sake. And I'd say Dwight D. Eisenhower was the best president when it came to focusing on domestic issues rather than just worrying about what other countries are doing. Those countries deserve their own autonomy and shouldn't have to worry about whether or not the United States is going to invade it, overthrow it, and commit all types of atrocities against it.
Well, if I'm going to be perfectly honest here and place my ideology on the shelf here.
Voltaire,
What?
let this man finish.
That was I just did. What were you saying, Voltaire?
Go on.
Okay, let me put my ideology on the shelf for a moment here. Let me tell you the truth about international relations and foreign policy is as long as countries are willing to play ball with the United States, they're not gonna face any type of military overthrow or direct military or indirect military intervention from the United States as long the countries play ball with the United States and keep in line with the United States interests, because in fact this is a reality that we live in, that the United States is in fact a hegemon and with interests. The United States has no real enemies or friends. They only just have interests in that regard.
The United States should not be a global policeman like it is. The countries shouldn't have to, play ball. I mean, if we're talking, I also need to define that. If we're talking about play ball in terms of like, don't attack us, don't do these certain type of things, okay, I would say that's fair. Now, when it comes to making their own policies, their own decisions, they don't have to play ball. They shouldn't have to play ball with us. The United States, like I say, has no right to tell a country what to do with its politics, its people, its whatever.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Saying that's how things are. I cannot control it. I cannot do anything. I can't really.
Okay. That's why I'm in favor of minarchism, so the government
All
won't
right.
be power enough to do that.
All right, that's where I'm gonna cut off the bout of exchange between you and Voltaire.
All
I'm gonna ask very quickly, Conundrum and JJ. Apparently, you do have very little to say. That's why I'm letting these two be the main players in this debate. But is there anything that you want to say right now?
I do.
Okay.
Conundrum, will there be anything after JJ that you want?
Yeah.
All right, JJ, you'll go on next. 5
Okay,
minutes for you.
so
Yeah, we'll probably reduce the statements down to 5 minutes. Sorry, go on.
okay, so we'll back up a little bit on Pinochet. You were joking earlier about how communists weren't people, and yet it was okay to toss them out of helicopters and pretty much fucking murder them. How is that a necessary evil? In fact, that is a human rights abuse and is a disgusting act. How can you support that and be like, oh, it's okay to joke about that? No, people are getting murdered.
All I have to say is that Pinochet just thought he needed to suppress any revolutionary thought or revolt against that. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah,
But-
Hitler. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Hitler.
you say you can that it was necessary. You don't need to abuse someone's, human rights and treat them like absolute dog shit. You don't do that to suppress them. You can suppress them by just not responding to them and not letting them hold political office. You don't go ahead and murder them.
I have no further comment on this. I stated my position on that.
I'm sorry, but when you said that Pinochet felt the need to prevent a revolution from happening, prevent the commies from gaining power, well, Hitler thought he needed to gas the Jews. He felt he needed to do so because he felt like they were the undesirables.
Okay.
All right, Voltaire, say your response, and then we'll let Conundrum go.
Comparing Hitler and Pinochet is absolutely ridiculous, honestly.
Elaborate.
Partly because Hitler was a romantic demigod and was a very irrational hatred for the Jewish gypsies and other people. What he did was out of hate. What he did was out of pure hatred for them. On Pinochet, he thought he was doing it with necessity. It was out of necessity. And it was two different periods, moreover.
Okay, you done there?
Yeah.
All right, Conundrum,
All
you
right.
go on.
All right. I see that you have your beliefs, and I respect you for that. I will always say that. But my thing is, what are your views on veterans' rights who fought in wars?
They should receive full benefits. They should get paid.
Well, you earned my respect on that. That's all I'm going to say. I don't have that much, and I don't want to sound like a Josselman right now.
All right, yeah, that is that Jocelyn. Jocelyn sounds like silence. Jocelyn sounds like silence. That's what he sounds like in these types of debates.
Question.
Okay. Yeah, go on, Esmin. Guess I'll let you speak again.
On foreign policy, so you say you care about troops, right? You care about. I'm assuming you do not like the fact we have homeless veterans, right, and refugees.
I don't like that.
Our foreign policy should reflect that. We need to stop creating refugees and homeless veterans. So we don't create. So we don't. I mean, to be fair, we need to. Holy fuck, Darkon.
What?
Oh, your audio just the gain just went up like over 9,000. Basically,
Sorry.
we need to have my opinion is fewer wars, so we can prevent for refugees who are escaping our bombs that we drop on their countries. I mean, we did drop over almost 30,000 bombs on the Middle East in 2016. Also, if you want to create less homeless veterans, let's stop creating wars that will produce those things. That's all I really have to say. As for your anti-Semitic comments, I know you're not going to respond to them, and honestly, I don't take you seriously on that. All the other criticisms, your social conservatism, I hardly do take that seriously at all. I do not view LGBT as degenerate. I don't see what you base that off of. But if it makes them degenerate to live their lives as they see fit, then I guess degeneracy did nothing wrong.
All right, Voltaire.
Shit, your microphone.
Voltaire.
You alive, boy?
Oh fuck! Looks like
Did
you
you
might have
leave without letting us know?
Hello?
Voltaire.
Oh,
Okay, Voltaire, were you listening to S-Man in the last 2 minutes?
I got the best in piece. Say that. Give the basic rundown of your argument.
Motherfucker. Okay. All right. All right. The argument was, if you don't like the fact we have homeless veterans, and if you don't like the fact we have refugees outrunning our bombs, let's have a foreign policy that doesn't create either one of those, i.e., non-interventionism. And I mean, like, very strict non-interventionism. That's basically what it boiled down to.
Okay. I would say to you is geopolitics is way more complicated than you think, unfortunately.
I'm not saying it's all that easy. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying the possibility of non-intervention from the United States, who plays a big role in international affairs, is getting more difficult and borderline impossible to do. So I cannot do anything about that. This is how things go.
All right, and I'm going to disagree anyway and say it's not as difficult as you portray it, but whatever. The other point I mentioned was I disagree with you thinking that LGBT lifestyle is degenerate. I know that if you think it is, then I guess degeneracy is not that bad. Anyhow, that's all I really have to say. The other stuff I've already argued with you on. I'll probably leave in a minute. So
on LGBT rights or culture, I don't like their party lifestyle. I don't like what they advocate for. They definitely don't serve my political interests. They're not inclined to vote for right-wing politics, which is rather unfortunate. But
May I challenge something? I'm gonna answer something. You like porn?
I don't care.
wait, where'd Zach go?
So I thought you may like lesbian porn. Two women eating each other out.
I mean, it's like I actually like enjoying being around lesbians, like in real life.
Oh yeah, lesbians are awesome.
The point of your question is?
Yeah, I was thinking if he hated all of LGBT, he did not. He hates lesbian porn, the most erotic porn ever. Oh god, I sound like a total creep at this point.
You sound like War Corpse.
Oh god. Quick question: where the fuck is Zach?
Zach, he keeps dipping out and joining back in.
I think Zach's codec is broken.
More okay around LGBT.
I'll be honest with you, Voltaire. I'm in support of the LGBT community, but I'll give you some pointers here. I do not like the over flamboyant gay men. You know, I can see you don't like those type of gay men.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that. And yes, I'm gonna sound like a total massive fucking hypocrite on this, but I can agree with you on that point. Some of them can get over flamboyant. Like my nephew. Oh God, he is so flamboyant.
Oh, motherfucking internet, cut out on me.
Yeah, but I can see I can see why you have some issues with the LGBT community, with the over flamboyancy of certain gay men. I can agree with you.
And if I may add my 2 cents in, even though I'm moderator, this is the reason why I say that we can talk about all the things that certain gay people do, how we disagree with them. But my ultimate beef is whether or not he what his legal stance is, what Voltaire's ultimate legal stance is. But anyway.
Well, I know he likes lesbians, so he's cool on that.
I find that kind of odd, but whatever.
Hey! Everybody loves lesbians. Quoted from the great David Nordhall, aka War Corpse.
But I mean, I find flamboyant people overall annoying, but I don't generalize or stereotype. But thank you, Tasteless. That's thank you for that compliment. But yeah, I will say that I disagree with you because it's like you're pointing out stereotypes. Like the vast majority of lesbians, trans people, and gay men I've met, they're just like you and me. The only time I'll ever meet a flamboyant one is like once in a blue moon. It feels like, and
or on a BuzzFeed video.
Yeah, or that. But I mean, if you don't like LGBT people, like to me, it's like if you don't like a certain person or you don't like a group of people, oh, their culture, what the fuck ever, just ignore them. It's really easy. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
Other than that,
their culture.
I don't really give it. Anyway,
Whoa. Let's give Voltaire his time to speak.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be respectful.
All right.
All right.
Go, Volt. Hello.
Today, Junior.
I think he has connection
Cutting out,
issues
dude.
too.
You're cutting out.
Dude, yeah, Voltaire, you're cutting out.
Okay, I view her as a
Voltaire. Voltaire. Earth to Voltaire. We couldn't get what you were saying in the last 30 seconds.
Volt, there might be something wrong with your connection, bud. You're lagging a bit.
He's gone.
I think
he might be trying to get back in, but
let's give him the benefit of the doubt. You're
right.
relaxed, buddy.
So now, Voltaire, please continue. Actually, start over and then continue. Voltaire.
Your connection is shitty, dude.
Voltaire, you got your ears on?
Oh. Let me give.
Okay, and I also have to add that for people that keep on walking away from their computers, we both had an incident with S-Man and Voltaire, yet they were still in the call. Please, to the best of your abilities, keep engaged in this hangout. Like, I don't know, like keep on listening even if you are going to walk away from the call.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you got your ears on, buddy?
So, yeah, I'm just using my phone right now, so.
Okay.
All right, do that. So, anyway, go.
Okay. On my views on LGBT culture, I sort of view it as a greater symptom of Western nihilism and consumerism. I don't really like how they glamorize their party lifestyle. I just honestly view them being lost in this modern world of ours where they being constantly tell that morality is subjective and meaningless. And
like that's a bad thing?
It's a horribly bad thing. You should not, no one really should encourage it that much. But
how many people have died from that, Voltaire?
Die from what?
What you're describing. Nihilism and people are now thinking morality is subjective. How many millions of people has that killed?
Okay. On nihilism. Nihilism in itself is a own hell that people need to escape to insulate themselves from this modern world of ours. They need to escape it and just basically need to be a stoic. Stoic on this, you know. I just sort of just view them as a greater part of the culture decline in the West specifically. But I got nothing else to say on this matter.
Hey, I did want to say one thing before I have to leave.
All right, quickly, Brandon.
Okay, you should, Crusader, you should probably delete the last part of the stream because of all the stuff I said.
What are you talking about?
You should probably, I'll talk about the stream from last night. You should probably chop out the end.
I already did that.
Okay, what about S-Man?
What do you mean? Oh, no, I think I'll be fine. I think I'll do the same thing. I don't know.
You should, yeah, I recommend you should, because what I said was really bad.
Yeah. After I heard it repeatedly, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. But anyway,
it is too. But I still think, I don't want you to get a strike or anything. That's the thing.
Send me the unlisted stream.
It's on my channel. Go to the last 8 minutes. Go to the last 10 minutes and just watch from there. After I start wrecking Brandon repeatedly.
Also, all he did was kick me from the thing. That's all he did was kept kicking me.
And I got JJ to laugh his ass off. Anyhow, I'm looking at the chat.
It was the stuff from what I was saying though.
Yeah, you kept saying random edgy shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 4chaning you.
Okay, bye, Brandon.
So anyway, so I gotta say, so see you later, B. Anyway, you guys are looking at the chat. I want you to ignore the chat for right now until we decide to officially end this debate between the poor bastards and Voltaire. What else was there that you guys would want to talk about relating to Voltaire and his positions?
That's basically all I have to say. Is I think that I think he's probably spent a little too much time.
Is this better?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah,
I think he spent way too much time thinking that one group of people is wrong, or he's like he just spends way too much time thinking that they're just weird. Basically, I just think he's just going a little off the deep end with. If you think the culture of lifestyle is degenerate, just don't participate in it. You'll be just fine. Anyway, I got to answer a question in the chat. Tasteless, go to my channel. Look at the video called Crusading Live 3 Mirror. Go to the last, like I said, go to 2 hours, 9 minutes. Anyway, that's all I have to really say. I have nothing else to say.
Oh, is this better? Like, is this good?
No, you're still cutting out. You sound like a buzzing lawnmower or chainsaw.
Yeah, even Chainsaw Massacre's chainsaw didn't sound that bad.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I'm gonna say my piece. Voltaire, number one, about that stream, about the stream you ran with me. I want to apologize to you for that. I never fly off the handle like that. I apologize to you with that. I see you have some views that I believe in, which I can respect you for that. And I'm willing to give you a chance. I'm a man who would give a second chance. So you earn a second chance with me. I will advise you not to squander it.
Okay. Can I get a second chance with Lapis? Come on, I need that second chance back, man.
Bro.
I doubt it.
Accept it. She's gone. She's gone. She's not returning. Your heartbreak is just what it is.
Can you shut up? I just want a second chance, man. I need a second chance.
Dude.
Bruh,
Forget about it. You're not getting that tranny dick like you want.
Yes, accept the fact she left you for another man. Accept it, Freddie. Accept it. Accept it, man. Sorry, I'm sorry, Freddie. I understand heartbreak can be a very painful thing, but you're not getting the dick. You're just not. I'm sorry.
Who keeps on S-Man? You're not muting Voltaire repeatedly, are you?
No, I would never do that for the love of that. Never.
I
just want that second chance. I just want that second chance. Please, just give me that second chance.
Voltaire.
Buddy, she left you for another man that she loves. You're
Okay,
just gonna have to
I
take the
don't
L.
care. I just find it very interesting. I just want to keep on talking to her.
Voltaire.
Okay. S-Man, by the way, if you say Voltaire, forget it, let it go. I am going to chuck you over the border, all right? We already get it. We
Also,
already get it.
also, S-Man, can you shut up
Repeat
because
yourself.
that's not the thing. I just want to
You need to
check.
shut up and
Just
eat fried
want
chicken and watermelon.
Okay. Voltaire, you Lapis. I've had some private DM conversations with her, and she doesn't want anything to do with you. Just know that. I'm sorry. That's one bridge that you have permanently burnt.
Come on,
And
I just don't. I just want to make sure that she's not spreading around calling me a fascist. That's
Too
all
late,
I'm sure of
motherfucker. Too late.
Yeah, probably too late. I mean, the rest of the Owen McDonald base is probably going to insist on that. And you know what? That's one other issue that I think we should get on about is the whole. By the way, JJ, you did not read the group chat, but do you want me to approve your latest chat comment in the chat?
What?
Let me go to
Your latest chat comment. It's like held for review. Did you want me to? Do you really want me to approve this?
Yes.
Okay.
all because I said a few nasty things about a group of people.
JJ.
Okay, so anyway, I think that's one thing that we ought to go over is Voltaire and his definition of fascism and explain why you are not a fascist, because I kind of almost get the feeling that maybe something is itching inside S-Man's head that he's still thinking that you're a fascist. I mean, Lapis, I think, is a lost cause, but try and convince S-Man here, Voltaire.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Fascism. It's honestly one of the hardest political philosophies that anyone can pin down because there's so many different nuances when it comes to the various European fascisms.
Okay.
And I don't really adhere to any fascist philosophy. Like I don't consider myself to be a fascist because I barely know anything about the Italian fascist philosophy, which is really esoteric and a little bit hard to understand, but the way you're defining it and how Lapis defined it is more so as a political slur, like a political slur in this liberal world of ours, like being called a fascist. Like, it's one of the worst things is being called today, and a lot of people don't even understand what fascism actually is. So I just want to clarify that I'm not fascist because I barely understand what fascism actually is. I just understand some of it.
All right. Okay. Let me, by your logic, someone could commit a sexual assault and be like, "I'm not a rapist because I don't know anything about that."
Also, that's a different set of concepts.
Hey, Voltaire, let us.
It's called. You're not going to believe this, Voltaire. There's this thing. It's called an analogy. I would also like to mention that fascism, by definition, is a form of radical authoritarian nationalism characterized by a dictatorial power. There's various definitions. Of course, they're not all going to be worded the same fucking way.
But then again, that's not doing the philosophy justice. That's not doing it justice when it's much more than that.
I do not give a flying rat's cunt about the philosophy behind it. To me, that's wholly irrelevant. But anyway.
But that's the thing. You want to represent it honestly. And I don't care. I don't really hold that. I don't hold like any fascist views. Like I really don't. Like I really
chucking people out of helicopters, like murdering your political enemies. Let's see.
That's a totalitarianism, which is its own self a Nietzsche.
Okay, well then explain the difference. Voltaire, did you hear me? I said explain the difference. Do you have the explanation or?
It's again like as I said before, like there's really no clear concise. Here's the definition of here's my definition of fascism. It's extreme nationalism to a degree, and due to the fact it's nationalism, and due to the fact that countries have its own variation, their own version of fascism, so to speak. It's kind of hard to pin down. That, as far as I know, only Italian fascism only has a very esoteric spirituality to it.
That doesn't make sense.
That's the thing.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm just describing fascism, and it's very esoteric. So esoteric.
Okay, so you say that you're not a fascist. S-Man here says killing your own political enemies, like, for example, Pinochet with chucking commies out of choppers. That is fascist, he says. And
also,
you have a defense to that. What?
Murdering your enemies via throwing them out of helicopters, as an example, causing forced disappearances.
Oh, that's
authoritarianism.
liberties. That's not fascism. Pinochet wasn't a fascist.
That's a part of fascism, you fucking moron.
Hey, let's.
To be fair to S-Man, that's a pretty fascist. That's pretty fascist.
Jesus fucking Christ! Like, I'm sorry, but I've tried to be nice explaining this to you, but you're not getting it. For God's sake,
I am getting it.
Okay.
Can I ask something? That quote you said, were you saying that to be edgy? And
what quote?
Throwing people out of helicopters. Were you trying to say that to be edgy?
No, I'm just saying that Pinochet is not considered to be a fascist by actual fascist standards.
I know, I understand, but I understand that, but because you were labeled because you don't want to be I know that the word fascist can be thrown around at people who have a good counterpoint to their beliefs, because they'll do that half the time. But I'm saying what you said to Lapis. Were you trying to be edgy with it?
I said that to her? I don't remember.
No. What I'm saying, whatever you did to Lapis, were you trying to be edgy?
Oh, I think she called me a racist, anti-Semite, and a fascist.
What he said about the Jews, his anti-Semitic comments about the Jews, women shouldn't vote, things like that. Were you saying the anti-Semitic comments to be edgy, or were you serious?
Edgy.
Thank you. If only you could.
Don't do that with Lapis. She'll take it seriously.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that she's autistic.
Hey, Voltaire, keep it civil. All right.
Yo, dude.
Sorry. I just wanted to make that joke.
Dude, I know you're
speaking.
No. This is too serious, Voltaire. I already told you once earlier during this stream that this is too serious to be joking around.
Speaking of jokes, I hope people piss on Pinochet's grave, and I hope that offends you, Voltaire. And basically, I have nothing really else to say. I think I've already laid out all my criticisms. I think you're being a little too pedantic about the word fascism. Other than that, like I said, fascism includes authoritarianism.
Yes, but it doesn't include totalitarianism.
It's fucking semantics.
There's a difference between authoritarianism and totalitarianism.
All right, I'm gonna see what the huge fucking difference is, and see if this is if your fucking semantics about it is justified or just a waste of my fucking time. All right, authoritarianism is favoring or enforcing strict obedience to authority, especially that of the government, at the expense of personal freedom. Totalitarianism is relating to a system of government that is centralized and dictatorial and requires complete subservience to the state. That is totalitarianism. Yeah. You can include either one in fascism, as I actually Googled these two terms. The adjectives and the synonyms include fascist in both of them. So
okay. I'm going by Hayek's view, saying there's a difference between authoritarianism and totalitarianism. Do you know who Hayek is? F.A. Hayek?
Hang on a second. I got to address something in the chat. American Josh says, when S-Man is wrong, you can hear him getting more angry. Well, you little... Hang on. Zach, I just need to address this. I'm sorry. I just need to address this. Listen here, you pudgy ball of autism. Quite frankly, when I get annoyed at people, it's usually because they're either being fucking stupid with semantics or they are wasting my fucking time.
Or lying that they're flip-flopping while masturbating to Barbara Bush all the time.
Yeah, and quite frankly,
I told you guys to ignore the chat because Josh, if people start paying attention to Josh, he'll end up just derailing the entire stream.
Oh yeah.
it's
Leave,
like, wait.
let me put this. Let's all leave. Let's leave the retard alone and get back onto the subject.
All right, fair enough. Let the pudgy ball of autism die alone. Anyway, okay. All right, Frederick Hayek.
But
that's just one dude one dude and an opinion.
But then again, there's a difference. There's a difference because Pinochet was more so a transitional dictatorship than anything else for a layout. He basically lay out for the foundation for liberal democracy. So it's really like I sort of just view it as authoritarianism because totalitarianism is like Nazi Germany, the Soviet Union, and Maoist China. Like when they actually really centralize, power and authority.
Okay. But
either term, I don't really care what term you use. If you're calling someone an authoritarian or a totalitarian or a fascist or whatever, if the term fits, then it fits.
But
anyhow,
the thing with fascist is it's just a slur that's thrown around in modern political discourse when fascism in reality has a very Nietzsche philosophy.
And calling people commies and calling them regressive leftists is now just a slur. Calling people SJWs at this point is just a slur.
You know, I'm describing the reality of this liberal world that we live in, right?
I think what we need is like a definitive, a definite definition on these words. If whenever somebody gets called a fascist, like line them up with the definition. Are they actually a fascist?
Yeah. And that's where I think that a lot of this discourse with Voltaire is happening, because I think Voltaire is using the dictionary term with terms like fascist and everything, where everybody's using the typical SJW deflection tactic of the term fascist. That's why I can give Voltaire sort of this second chance with me.
Okay, and what I am analyzing during this whole debate is that when we read out the definition of fascism, is that authoritarianism fell under that. And what I find very authoritarian is shucking commies out of choppers just because they're commies.
Yeah, and that's all I really have to say. I got really nothing else I want to say to Voltaire. I think I've made all my points clear. I will also be mirroring the stream if that's fine with you, Darkon.
All right, I suppose.
Okay, you want to end the stream?
I'll be saying something else.
Probably not. I'll go on for at least 36 more minutes. I mean, if we want to.
Okay, let's do that.
Turn this into an actual hangout stream, maybe. I don't know. But anyway.
Just to shoot the shit here. If you want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so we're done here with the debate. No one else has anything else to say.
No. What about you, JJ?
Not really. I think I've said all I need to say.
All right. Zach, the only reason I addressed the chat is because I know I got some laughs out of just looking at it. That's why I even bothered addressing it.
I just put some in the chat.
Okay, and now that we are officially done with the debate, I guess, you know what, fuck it. You can address the chat if you so want to.
Hey, S-Man, quick question. Gamer Godric, or as we know, Elite Gamer, wants to have a call, and I'm wondering if you'd like to join on where he's been like the past 2 weeks.
Sure, let me know when, and yeah, why not? Like a private call?
Yeah, it's not going to be a stream. It's just going to be a call.
Sure, sure. Let me know when. Also,
it'll probably be after I leave this stream.
Okay, so hey, Tasteless, do you want to invite? I will send this link to the Discord server if you would like.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to send the link in the Discord server anyways.
S-Man, if Lapis has any problems why I'm giving Voltaire a second chance, just say to her that I'm only giving him a second chance because I was rarely there when shit happened, but I can find some agreement with some of his points, and I can see he could be edgy sometimes, and people should learned that sometimes he can be an edgelord sometimes.
Yeah, and I think S-Man can agree with Voltaire when it comes to free market economics, but that doesn't really excuse all the other issues that everybody has issues.
Yeah.
You have to know I wasn't here during the whole issue because a lot of shit's been happening on my end.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving him sort of this second chance by watching his content and stuff. I'm just telling Voltaire personally, do not squander this second chance. I'm a man who gives second chances. Do not squander it.
Okay.
Fuck you, Freddie. You muted me, you little bastard.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but.
Whew. So that was
and like I said, Voltaire, I apologize for the earlier stream where I totally flipped biscuits on you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Has Josh left the chat, or are we gonna roast this motherfucker like a pig?
Like my policy is, as long as he shows up in the live chats and he talks shit, I'm gonna roast him. If not, I won't bother with him. I could tell I triggered the shit out of him with my second diss track because he was being a little bitch.
Dark Cons. There's no chance that there's no chance of me getting a second chance from Lapis the Feniment.
No,
take the L. Take the L.
I highly doubt it. All right.
Voltaire.
I'm gonna tell you
the L.
I'm going to tell you something, what I learned in my life. I'm 39 years old. I'm about to get married. I'm going to tell you something I learned. Respect is easily earned, and it's so easily lost, but it's damn hard to earn back.
I just don't care that I don't care if she respects me or not. I just want to make sure that she doesn't think I'm a fascist.
Too late, you North Carolina bastard. Take the L.
But what I'm telling you, Voltaire, instead, just show your actions. Actions speak louder than words. Yes, you want a second chance with Lapis. I think you should. What will make Lapis give you that second chance, I think, is you to earn it.
Yeah, don't just ask for it.
You should watch my channel and see why I actually believe in it. Like, it's mostly I do live streams.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing that I have to say, Voltaire, is that the bigger and bigger that a YouTuber gets, the more and more people are going to hate them, smear them, and incorrectly title them, call them so-and-so names. Like, I don't know of how many times I've been called I don't know.
Racist.
I don't know how many, well, okay.
Misogyny.
Perhaps. I mean, particularly from the Owen McDonald fan base. I mean, actually, I have more interactions with them on Twitter than on YouTube, but all the same, still, I mean, you cannot convince every single mind out there that you are not a fascist, especially when you get bigger and bigger, Voltaire.
Don't ask why there's two of me.
It's a clone!
I think I know why, because you're on the phone and the laptop at the same time.
Oh, by the way, Freddie, I do want to apologize for getting mad at you earlier.
But I'm going to give you some also advice about Voltaire. I'm going to say this. You're getting called this term fascist. You're letting that give power to you. Power to corrupt your video styles and stuff. Everybody got called something. S-Man got called a transphobe by some autistic spurg named Danny Corks.
I remember.
Actually, I take that as a compliment if someone calls me a transphobe or racist or something.
Yeah. But the thing is, I get called many names. I get called every dirty name in the book. Know what I do? I just ignore it because I don't give that power. Take a page from Nightmare Freddy versus Jason. The best way to stop Freddy Krueger is not mentioning it, not letting it give it power. Don't let those words give you power. Don't let those Freddy Kruegers give. Don't think about those Freddy Kruegers. Don't give it power.
Wait, are you aware of Nightmare Fuel or Reese?
Nightmare Fuel? I do watch Nightmare Fuel. I watch a lot of horror. Me and my fiance are big horror buffs.
JJ, look at the chat.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way: I get called a sick degenerate because I'm into BDSM. I do not give. I don't take those words seriously.
Wait. You watch Nightmare Fuel, the political YouTuber?
I watch the political YouTuber. I watch horror videos. I'm a big horror freak.
Oh,
I'm a big anime freak. I get called a weeaboo. I don't even let that affect me.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The guy with a skull in the suit.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on him?
I think he's pretty good. He does have his flaws, like every human in the world. I've believe me. Let me put it this way.
Have you watched Dapperton's videos about the guy?
Not yet.
I would recommend you
probably should before you finalize your opinion on Reese, aka the AIU proxy. Yeah, both he, AIU, and Billy Bong are all in the same camp, and there's a few others.
AIU. If it's AIU, he could eat a bag of baby dicks.
You make several videos about me, right?
He did, huh?
Like I said, Voltaire, I haven't watched a lot of stuff. You have to know, I'm getting ready for a funeral coming up. My best friend's mother passed away of cancer.
Oh no.
Yeah. My friend Britt, Lady Britannia, part of the Weep crew on my channel.
Also, I watched that stream. What's that tranny's name? Samson.
Sayomi?
Yeah, I watched that stream, and I just felt absolutely pure disgust from watching it. I could only watch 45 minutes of it. It was so disgusting what the guys were talking about.
I have to ask you something.
Okay, I'm gonna get myself some dinner, guys. Stay civil.
Voltaire, what's your view
I'm
on?
probably gonna leave soon.
Okay, what's your view on Gabe the Samurai?
Who?
Gabe the Samurai.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh my god. Good. Do not watch his videos. He's a fucking moron, in my opinion.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm gonna continue to roast Josso Tits from the chat.
All right.
So you know.
I'm gonna go
back to the poor bastards, like the original chat.
That's probably too late. I think Lapis still has you blocked. Anyway, I'm gonna go.
Hey, yes, man.
What's up?
Voltaire,
I'll be sure to give you that link.
Voltaire, what's your view on anime?
I don't care.
Hey, to each its own. Views on horror?
Voltaire needs to eat fried chicken and watermelon. Bye-bye.
I don't care. I don't watch these things.
You don't like horror, sci-fi?
No, but I do like Dragon Ball. That's pretty much it.
Dragon Ball. Oh, cool. We can talk about Dragon Ball sometime.
Yeah.
I'm a very relaxed person. Just think of me as an overgrown, hashed out hippie sometimes.
Yet you're getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a wonderful conversation.
I'm happy I'm getting married. My first fiance died. I'm happy I have somebody. And when my first fiance died, I became bitter for almost a long time until I met her. My recent fiance, who changed my life around so much.
Wow, that's really good. Hey, do you embrace? Do you have a reconnection with God too?
I became a sort of a cross hybrid between her beliefs, which is Wiccan, and my beliefs, which is Buddhist.
Oh.
So I consider myself more of a Jedi. I believe in a philosophy of finding inner peace and calm through meditation.
Oh, so you're a Buddhist then? Okay. Or I could call you a Jedi.
Yeah, but I will say this. I used to be Catholic until my mom was excommunicated for being divorced.
Oh, that's sad. Like you just lost respect for the Catholic Church because of that?
Yeah. Because it really pissed me off because my mom was a devout Catholic, and the reason why she got divorced was my father cheated on her multiple times.
Divorce, excommunicated.
If I was like in your shoes, I probably would have excommunicated the church itself and become like a non-denomination non-denominational Christian instead, or something along those lines.
But Voltaire, if your beliefs are Christian, I respect you for that because it probably helps you better your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe I can respect you for that. Like how Buddhism betters my life.
Yeah. I really recommend to check out my channel. And also, Dark Conservatarian, please use your powers of persuasion just to convince her to give me a second chance. Please.
He'll try. Look, Voltaire. He'll try. Okay, he'll give it a shot for you. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just remember, if Lapis says no, don't give your hopes up, because remember this step in the 12-step program. Even though you make apologies in life, some people will not take them.
Okay, I'm going to ask her one more time and then ask her if she wants me to never ask on your regard ever again. And if she says never ask on your regard to her, hey, will you give Voltaire a second chance? If she says never ask me again on his regard, well, then that'll be that. All right, yeah. Voltaire?
Okay, thanks, Zach.
Right. My channel is basically video games, and sometimes I do my political videos, which is called the Campaign of Conundrums, where I do an 8-bit style with bad English in it of an RPG.
Oh, that's actually rather original.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, I have to get going because I have another Warframe stream getting ready soon.
Okay. Hey, I got a quick question, if I might ask you, Conundrum.
What? What's up?
What do you think of my moderating?
Your moderating? I haven't been in the chat yet. I'm scared of seeing the chat because
No. I mean the moderating of the debate here.
You did pretty good, bro. You did pretty good. You
This is like my first time.
When I was beginning with the rambling on, you helped me cut that off real quick. I give you credit for that. And and the whole 5-minute, 10-minute time limit, and you were very point on that. I give you major kudos on that. You get the kudos.
All right, thank you. I mean, it was kind of more or less impromptu. I haven't thought through all the rules, but I knew roughly what I wanted to do, and it was pretty much unprofessional, but still, I thought that I was fair.
Oh, have you heard that Bearing's back?
I did.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you go, guys. Okay.
All right. I'm probably gonna end the stream right here.
Peace, everybody.
Or maybe I'll send this the link to Modwayne's house or something. Actually, no. I think I'm just gonna end it.
Hey, sorry.
What do you have to say?
What's your beef with Bearing? Anyway.
My beef with Bearing?
Yeah.
Nothing now. I mean, I guess I'll send you like a link to my drama review of that whole shebang.
Oh, like did it gain a lot of attention to your channel?
Yeah, that's how that I got more subs than you.
What's your current sub count right now?
247.
I think I'm not around that. I think I got that around that range.
Yeah, I mean, you're catching up very quickly. Both you and Sir Conservatarian. For some reason, I'm not gaining subs. Yeah, you're 246. Never mind. I mean, there was at a point that I was definitely bigger than you and Sir Conservatarian, but for some reason, my channel hadn't been growing too fast as of recently. I need to pick back up the uploads. I've been busy on the review of the Jossaman drama that went down. That was like before your drama of everybody exploding at you in the chat and whatnot.
Yeah, that was a giant mistake, and you can end the stream now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you admit that you definitely put your foot in your mouth in the stream? I mean, in the chat those weeks ago.
I think I expressed my views. I think I expressed my views at the wrong time, at the wrong moment.
But you would say that you put your foot in your mouth. I mean,
I will admit nothing. Okay, just leave it as that.
All right. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream right here. So, anything you have to say in closing and farewell to my audience, Voltaire?
Okay, autism is a choice. Goodbye.
All right then. Thank you everybody for joining. This has been The Dark Cancer. I don't know, maybe I should like retitle this Strike Force or something, because it was more of a debate than a, you know, and it was at hardly any point of a fun stream. Hopefully next time it'll be a little bit more lightened up than this. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Voltaire, for joining. Thank you, S-Man, Cult of Ham, Conundrum, JJ, all for joining. And thank you, Loudmouth and Brandon, for ever so briefly joining. Here is where I'm going to end it. I'm the Dark Conservatarian, signing out.